I'd say for me, I don't really notice very often that our family looks different until it's pointed out by somebody, or until I'm in a situation where I'm not with my family and people make assumptions. You know, like being the only Black person in the family. When I go out by myself and I'm hanging out with other people, they assume my family is Black. So when I say that I don't know something, then they're like, oh, why not? And I'm like, well, my family is white. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. But it makes me really proud knowing that even though my family might look different, like I have better support, like a better support system than a lot of the people around me. It makes me feel so safe knowing like I'm always going to have a place to come to talk about my problems, or like to get solutions, or just to cry. And I'm not going to be like judged the way some of my friends are when they go to their families. And I think that as long as I have that feeling, it doesn't matter what my family looks like.
Mom, do you want to give some context about Menti's adoption?
Why don't you?
Okay, so my amazing sister, who is 2 years younger than me, is from a small village called Nazareth, Ethiopia. So many, many miles away, another continent. She was born 2008 and adopted that same year by my father and my mother, who traveled to go and get her and bring her back to the United States when me and my older sister were quite young. I found that having her as a sister has been an absolute blessing. You know, sometimes people like, they'll see, you know, me and Menti and they'll say weird things like, oh, is that like your girlfriend? I mean, like some really strange comments, because doesn't even come to mind to them that she's my sister because she's of a different skin color than I. And, you know, I've grown up with her. We've been through our parents' divorce together. We've had a lot of challenges. And, you know, I'm so thankful that my parents decided to do this and to bring another member into our family.
I'm very grateful that, I don't know if grateful is the right word. I mean, I am grateful, but I don't think about it a lot. I'm very it feels right. Like, I've never once questioned, is this the right family for me? Or like thought about realistically what would it have been like if I was placed with another family, because I've never wanted to. It's always seemed like it would have been the worst scenario if I had been placed anywhere else, because I have such a strong community, such a strong family. Even people that aren't technically like related to our family, like my godmother, Aunt Vicky, having such strong support and having such a strong community, especially being raised Jewish and being able to go to the Jewish Community Center, the JCC, like having such a strong support system in school, extracurriculars, it's always made this entire situation feel just so right, and like it was set in stone by the universe very early on before I was born. I've never had to question my adoption.
Well, we've talked about adoption in the context of, you know, that's not a Pollyanna-ish solution to family making, and that it is more complex than just checking the box of, you know, you're adopted.
Speaking of your family, I know you would agree for the most part with me, and definitely for Mom, that we've been, you know, very kind and supportive of you. Would you want to talk about like kind of other members of the family, like Grandma and Pop, and how they've been supportive maybe?
Yeah, I think that one of the people who has been very, very supportive, I mentioned her earlier, is my godmother, Aunt Vicky, and she is not blood related to us, but I consider her to be one of the closest members of our family. She and I have always been so close, and she's always been the person that I can talk about, like, oh, I'm struggling with this part of my identity, or I'm struggling with this thing that's going on in my friend group or my family. And she's been there, no judgment, just either to listen or to offer solutions. So I'd say she's always been supportive, always in my corner, 100%. And then there's Grandma. She's also been a big one. She is Belgian, and sometimes she doesn't really understand what I'm talking about, or there's some sort of disconnect because of age or whatever, but she's always there to listen to me rant and talk to me and support me no matter like what I choose to do. Same with Pop, my grandfather. He's always been very supportive, always telling me I'm going to be great.
Thank you for listening to the story from the Institute for Family Shine On North Carolina campaign. Hear the full story and discover how you can share your own by visiting our website at shineonnorthcarolina.com.